Today, you're going to see both the plight and courage of such people in 3 troubled areas of the world. Here in the Sahel region of West Africa, and then to the tiny disaster-torn country of Bangladesh, where this entire village population fled into India, refugees during the War of Independence. When they returned, not a house nor tree was standing. Now they struggle to build a life, a nation. We will travel to the heart of Southeast Asia, to war-ravaged Cambodia, to Phnom Penh, with its 1 million refugees, people who dare to begin again in the face of a never-ending war. I'm traveling with a man who knows this world as few know it. Stan Mooneyham spends half of each year out among the world's hurting people. He's president of World Vision International, a Christian humanitarian organization dedicated to helping the world's needy with food, medicine, and education. I invite you to join Stan Mooneyham and me, Art Linkletter, as we walk in a world of people who are searching for survival. This is Dhaka, the capital city of Bangladesh, a nation born out of bloody civil war, a people who desperately hope their country can survive. Stan and I were on our way to visit a refugee camp located in the very heart of the city.
You ever see people pushed together like this, Art? 3,000 of them in less than half a square block.
Well, now, who are these people crowded together in incredible filth and poverty in the midst of a big city?
Yeah, it was about 3 years ago, Art. This country was fighting for its independence with West Pakistan, and about 10 million of the East Pakistanis, now the Bengalis, fled into India as refugees. And they came back after the end of the war, about a year, hoping to find their homes, and instead they found this, nothing. And so here they are, jammed into one little half-square block in the midst of the city of Dhaka.
Look at the children, Stan. There are children everywhere. World Vision's man here in northern Bangladesh is a dynamic young fellow named Todd Lemons. What I can't get over, Stan, is a 22-year-old American college kid arriving here in Biri, Syria right after a war on a bicycle.
Todd, tell him how that came about.
When I was a senior at Taylor University, we were raising funds for Bangladesh, and we sent them through World Vision. Then later, I decided I wanted to come and help spend those funds.
Did you send him here?
This guy called us every week regularly saying, I want to go to Bangladesh. And finally I said, anybody who wants to go that badly ought to have a chance to go at least for a year. And we agreed for him to come for a year, and he's been here now almost 3.
Yeah, but they didn't pay your way, did they?
No, I had to raise my own funds.
And they didn't pay you while you were here, did they?
No.
You're real generous. You got him a visa, huh?
We wanted to see if he meant business, but I'll tell you what, he's proven it. This is Saturday Clinic Day.
Saturday Clinic?
Yes, here at Biri, Syria, Art. These 2 Australian nurses see about 150 to 300 people a day. Here's Sue and Val right there. Morning.
Hello,
How are you
Sue.
today?
How are you?
Well, nice
Hello,
to see you.
Val. The most common ailments here are tuberculosis, dysentery, and malaria. If it weren't for Val and Sue, these people would have to go 60 miles for medical help.
This is Joe Wood. With $10, he provided farm tools for refugees in Bangladesh. Those tools turned despair into self-respect, hunger into the taste of strength-giving food. Joe Wood made a difference. This is Darlene Jesperson, housewife and new mother. She took a moment to see life through another mother's eyes, gave $5, and provided an inoculation against deadly cholera. It's making a difference every day of this child's life. The Harold Penrose family gave $15 and provided grain for starving refugees in Niger, West Africa. Grain that now stands between this family and the pangs of hunger. The Penrose family made a difference. Through World Vision International, these families are joining thousands of others in giving tangible help to people in need. You can do the same. In Cambodia, you can provide the survival kit for a destitute refugee family. Here is clothing, tools, seed, bedding, a mosquito net, cooking utensils, and enough rice to feed a family for a month. You can provide all this and more hope than you can measure with a gift of just $15. Will you decide now to reach out to someone in their hunger, in their hopelessness, and make a difference? To thank you for writing this week, we would like to send you free a unique memento from Bangladesh. These decorative rope hangers are handmade by the women of Bangladesh to earn money to buy food for their families. And remember, when you write enclosing your gift, you're joining with thousands of others who are convinced that what they do, no matter how small, does make a difference to someone suffering overseas. Write for your free decorative hanger today. Our address is World Vision, Box O, Pasadena, California. That's World Vision, Box O, Pasadena, California.
The following program is about one of the most critical issues facing mankind today. It is a subject we can no longer ignore. It is a crisis we must all understand. It is a human tragedy that demands our compassionate response. If you've ever wanted to call your friends and urge them to watch a telecast, do it now. As Americans, we must answer the most plaguing question facing our generation. What will we say to a hungry world?
What will we say to a hungry world? The following 5 hours will bring you an unmistakable answer. In our generation, the quest for food has become a worldwide crisis. At this very moment, most of mankind is hungry. Do we have a responsibility for these who wait, who suffer, who die? Can anything be done to lift their despair? Is there hope for the world's hungry millions? This television special is about the answers to those questions. As special guests, you will see Art Linkletter, Senator Mark Hatfield, Ralph Waite of the Waltons, Dr. Bob Pierce, Dennis Weaver, Senator George McGovern, astronaut James Irwin, Don Sutton, Abigail Van Buren, Corita Kent, Mrs. Ronald Reagan, and eminent authorities on world hunger. For the next 300 minutes, your television set will be a window on our world. You will see the struggle for survival in hunger crisis areas of Asia, Africa, Southeast Asia, and South America. You will see what compassion can bring to hungry families. Perhaps as never before, this telecast will be your opportunity to be a part of the solution, as thousands in this community reach out to help hungry people. And now, your host for these all-important hours, a man who has seen our hungry world, Dr. Stan Mooneyham, President of World Vision International.
The next 5 hours may well be some of the most important television you have ever watched.
The misery starts with starvation in being hungry. After hungry, you see this illness, which is well known, kwashiorkor. Then you get it. Then the suffering is starting. There is a malformation of the body. There are, every child in our camp, half of the camp, is now, we can have, the children have brain damage. And after that, they have no resistance. The people are just sitting down, looking on their children, looking on their father or their mother who are dying of typhoid or starvation or any other diseases for which they have no resistance at all. They're just sitting and looking. They know that that is coming. They don't speak about it. They know it is coming.
Even as you watch this program, somewhere in the world there is a desperate, hungry family waiting for the love that your family can give. Right now, why not agree as a family to share your love with another family half a world away? Go to your telephone, call now and say, we want to help a hungry family. Your gift of just $10 a month can provide that family with the food they need to stay alive. $10 a month can also help build for the future by providing dams like the one in Kaya in Upper Volta, or cisterns like that important one in Dori, or agricultural projects like the one in Niger's Tara Valley. These are the things that may eventually help a family help themselves. And that's really all they want, just a chance to provide for their own. What you decide to do in the next few minutes may mean the difference for a family like this one you're going to see right now.
Anna Marie Hanlon of Project Hope tells us about a family in the town of Natal in northeast Brazil.
These are the children you see that are all malnourished because they're living in the city and they have nothing to live on. Cosmo is 3, Luciano is 2. Damian, that is the twin of Cosmo, is in the hospital because they're giving him fluids to hydrate him. He'll come home, he'll be home 1 month, and he'll be just exactly in the same condition he was before. These children are so chronically malnourished that they will never, never, never be normal. There is no hope for those children, really.
I've been doing a lot of thinking about those twins I saw today, and it's changed all of our plans. At first I thought, well, we'll try to start something here in northeast Brazil maybe 12 months from now when it looks like we can afford it. And the thought that's come over and over again to me as I thought about those 2 little babies born into a world where they are destined to be human vegetables because they were formed in a womb of a malnourished mother who never had enough to eat, and they've never had enough to eat since they've been born. And I thought to myself, love can't wait. If you really care about people, and if people are the most important thing in this world, then you can't wait until it's convenient or until you're sure that you have enough to do it.
We give, as a family unit, to the work of World Vision.
I think our children are learning the importance of sharing with others.
In the face of the present crisis, there are lots of things that the average American could do.
How can you escape it? Doing what you can to help them in this moment, at this time in history, to believe that God, who cares about them eternally, cares about them because he, through you, meets their present urgent need. I urge you, pick up that phone right now and commit yourself to share with World Vision in helping take care of this deep, deep problem of hunger throughout the earth. Pick up the phone right now. Thank you, and God bless you.
This is a show about people you know, and some you do not. This is a show about people, giving and sharing and caring a lot. This is a show about goodness and kindness and faith and charity too. This is a show about beautiful, wonderful people like you.
This is a show about children who see the best in us all. This is a show about children living and laughing and having a ball. This is a show about hugging and holding and loving and trying to please. This is a show about beautiful, wonderful children like these, the Korean Children's Choir. I'd like to Teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to hold it in my arms and keep it company. The Muppets!
This is a show about pleasure and fun, about a place in the sun, about a wonderful feeling of universal bliss. Yes, this is a show about this.
This is a show for you.
Suddenly, a strange thing happened. The crowns belonging to the Queen and Prince disappeared right off their heads, and the King's crown floated through the air till finally it came to rest on Marvin's head, and a wondrous change came over the kingdom.
Oh, look, it's the sun! The sun! Oh, the sun! Hey, come on, you don't have to do that. Get up, Prince. You too, Queenie. All you have to do is to enjoy the warmth and light of the sun with me. And with him.
And the sunshine of love came to the little kingdom and stayed in their hearts forever and ever.
When one of us is gone and one is left alone to carry on, then remembering will have to do. Our memories alone will get us through. Think about the days of me and you and me against the world.
Now and then in my travels, I come across an especially remarkable person. In the next 30 minutes, you'll see what I mean as we visit the Philippines and meet a woman who ministers to thieves and murderers in the world's largest prison. I'm Stan Mooneyham. Come along with me. Let's walk the world.
Come walk the world with me. Together we will see the sweeping power of God's love is equal to the need. Come walk the world with me. Confirm triumphantly. God is alive and Jesus Christ is Lord indeed.
Aren't these exciting times to be living in? You know, I get so thrilled when I see what God is doing in the world today that I can hardly wait from one of these weekly telecasts to the next. I feel a bit like the Apostle Paul must have felt as he stood at the railing of the ship that carried him on his first missionary journey. The wind, the smell of salt spray, the churning water, the billowing sails, the exciting anticipation that God wanted to use him in ways he never dreamed possible. I'm sure that's the way Olga Robertson must have felt years ago. when she first charted her course toward the grim walls of notorious Bilibid prison in the Philippines. But that's getting ahead of our story. So let's start at the beginning with our World Vision reporter, Bob Larson.
Stan, this is Manila in the Philippines. Crossroads for commerce and business in Asia. Energetic, bustling, old, modern. It's all right here. Traffic is about as congested as you'll find any place in the world. Sometimes it's easier just to park your car and walk. And everywhere there's that legendary remnant of World War II, the jeepney. Originally an olive drab military vehicle, it's now the common transportation for people who want to get around fast. Olga Robertson drives the jeepney, but not for money. It's just the way she gets around in Manila. Olga lives and works some 30 miles outside of the hustle and bustle of busy Manila. It's in a lush, tropical setting of fertile fields, pineapple, banana, and coconut trees. But it's a paradise Olga seldom has time to enjoy. She's a missionary for the International Church of the Foursquare Gospel. And this is where she works, Bilibid Prison. With 9,000 inmates, it's the world's largest.
I'd like you to meet my prison family. This is Kim No, young man in death row, and also one of the elders in our church serving communion. On my left is another young man, a new convert. This is Jimmy, and well known in the prison as a killer, a leader of a big gang, but found Christ as his personal savior. We thank God for his life. On my right is Noni, who had been sentenced to life, but we're hoping for his soon release.
I've lived my life with violence. I'm 30 now, and I spent 13 of those years here inside. And as I grew up, I never felt any love in my home. And I certainly didn't know that God loved me. I was a gang leader. I just don't have time to listen to what he's been preaching. Then one day, I grew desperate and tired of the life that I've been leading. So the word of God just went through my heart, and it changed my life since then. In fact, I used to carry knife, and I never dared leaving myself without it in my pocket. But now I carry a Bible instead of a knife. This is my sword now. When your heart is as tough as mine was, nothing could break through but love. And that's the kind of love that Mommy had for me, for us.
Oh, how he loves you. Oh, how he loves me. Oh, how he loves you and me.
Oh, how he loves you and me. Oh, how God loves you and me. He gave his life. What more could he give? Yes, Jesus loves you. Oh, how he loves me. Oh, how he loves you and
In just a moment, we're going to Hong Kong to meet a man whose self-sacrificing love has touched thousands of young lives. As you watch, our World Vision address will appear on your screen. Now, your letter and your gift can make you a part of that kind of tangible love.
Your gift of just $15 can feed a hunger-stricken family of 5 for about 2 weeks. To a desperately poor farmer whose home and crops have been destroyed, your gift can bring the opportunity to start life over again. Through World Vision, your gift can also provide much-needed medical care through clinics like this one in Africa, or the kind of trade school education that can help a young person break out of an endless cycle of poverty once and for all. It's one thing to want to help the suffering, the poverty-stricken. It's another thing to experience the joy of helping make it happen.
For real liberty, true freedom, is what I call the freedom of proper functioning. By that I mean, well, like a locomotive, straight on the tracks, headed for a destination, under the strong and expert hand of an engineer, but running free. Or like a river, safe within its channel, on its course to the sea, providing electricity, irrigation, transportation, recreation, free to be what God meant it to be. Only God can make us truly free, if freedom means proper functioning. Having made us, God knows how we function best. The Shorter Catechism sums it up this way. What is the chief end of man? Man's chief end is to glorify God and enjoy Him forever.
The subject of this program concerns every person living on our globe. It is about a crisis, a human tragedy that cannot be ignored, that must be understood, that deserves our compassionate response. During this program, you will hear the pleading voice of half of mankind, the cry of a hurting world that says, "I'm hungry." In the next 60 minutes, you will see the struggle for survival in hunger crisis areas of Asia, Africa, Latin America. But you will also see hope. As never before, you will see what love and compassion can do for hungry people. Perhaps as never before, this telecast will show you how you can hear the cry of a hurting world and reach out and feed the poor, the hungry. This is the National Television Special on World Hunger, presented by World Vision International. As special guests tonight, you will hear Dr. Billy Graham, Carol Lawrence, Art Linkletter, The Muppets, Vincent Price. And now your host for this all-important hour, a man who knows and understands our hungry world, Dr. Stan Mooneyham, President of World Vision International.
I want to thank you for joining me for this very special program. You know, when you live in a land of plenty, hunger can all too easily be forgotten.
There is a cry in our world that is not being heard. It is a cry too often muffled by the concerns and crises much closer to home.
Congressman delivered a report to a House subcommittee on small business last week on a new insurance
The nation's
problem.
top labor leaders have launched a bitter attack on President Carter, charging him with failing to keep his promises.
But the cry is still there. It is the cry of a hurting world. It says, "I'm hungry." Every time we hear that cry, it reveals one of the most tragic paradoxes of our time. While our world of plenty increases in wealth and technology, the much larger world of hunger increases in poverty and pain.
For these next nights, you'll have as your local host one of America's most famous personalities. He's probably best known for the way he can get children to say what they really mean. He's also a man of tremendous compassion. We've traveled together, and I've seen him deeply moved as he saw our hungry world. Art Linkletter. Art, how's it going?
We've just received word from our Hunger Crisis Center in Pasadena, California, that hundreds of caring people right here in this community are already responding. You know, most of us have never had to experience real hunger. Oh yes, back in the days of the Depression, I know personally that things were pretty tough. But we always ate, and there always seemed to be enough to go around. But today, for over half the people in the world, constant, gnawing hunger is a day in and day out fact of life. I want you to take a look at this little girl. Her name is Carmelita. She's a beautiful child, but those dull, expressionless eyes are the telltale signs of what hunger can do. You see, help did come for Carmelita, But it came too late. Robbed of enough protein when she was a baby, she's been left mentally retarded. There are millions of other children in the world doomed to suffer the same fate, unless we can help. Right now, here's our first report on how much people here have given to help bring life and hope to children like little Carmelita. Oh, that's tremendous. And we've really just begun. We can do so much more. If you haven't called, call now. If you wish, we'll be happy to send to you an audited financial statement from World Vision International. Just ask for it when you call.
I'm Stan Mooneyham on board World Vision's Operation C-Sweep here in the South China Sea. And I want to tell you a story. It's a story of extraordinary courage, of danger, of heartbreak. When Southeast Asia fell to the communists in 1975, there were thousands of families who, prizing freedom above everything else, put the most precious cargo they had, their wives and children, into frail fishing boats and set sail on these open seas or anywhere. They've been fleeing in numbers of up to 5,000 every month. There are confirmed reports of vessels being seized by pirates, the women raped, and the men thrown overboard. Most of the boats are unseaworthy and simply sink with the first storm. Right now, it is estimated that there are from 5,000 to 10,000 people adrift in these waters, with no guarantee of a safe landing anywhere. This special report is about these boats, the people in them, and our response to this very real human tragedy. I've been investigating this problem on 3 continents for 6 months. And the thing that has distressed and disturbed me is that, for the most part, the international bureaucrats and the governments of the world treat this problem as if it didn't exist, and they wish it would go away.
To finally see those faces, to know we're close enough to help. The excitement aboard our ship was electric. The captain comes on board and Bert gets right to the point of meeting their needs.
The United States who have come out here to help refugees, okay? We will give you fuel and water and food. If you have anybody aboard that is sick, very sick.
I think that's getting seasick, sir.
The captain has the charge up.
He tells them that because of regulations, we can only allow the captain and those who need medical attention to come aboard. Somewhere out of the staccato of hurried questions and answers, a very human, personal drama is revealed. It's a story we thought we were prepared to hear, but somehow it's different now that we can see and touch those suffering.
But we only want to go to the Liberty Nation.
To what?
To the Liberty.
To any
Liberty
country where they had liberty.
Not communism.
Not communism,
yeah.
Okay.
I know how Bert felt. A few days before, I had asked him about helping the people and then having to abandon them to the sea. His voice tightened.
It's very difficult. Very difficult. Particularly the children. I would much prefer to pick them up. Yeah.
As I felt this kinship, I couldn't help but think of the thousands of others still drifting on these waters, and how much we need you to help us rescue them. As you watch this report, our ship is out there plying these waters, searching them out.
We need you to be a part of this mission of mercy. In fact, we can't continue without you. That's the reason for the phone number on your screen. It's your personal lifeline to one of these people, one of these families. A gift of $35 can provide a boat pack, a means of survival for one family for 1 week. And we need many continuing gifts of $10 a month to keep our mercy ship on these waters. Whether your gift is $15 or $1,500, large or small, some family on the South China Sea needs the help you can provide right now. Pick up your phone. The number is toll-free. Call now.
Love the children, love them all. Reach out and help them when they call. Be there to lift them if they fall. God's children need love. Come love the children, love and learn what great rewards your love will earn. Love and you shall receive in turn all God's blessings. I'm Carol Lawrence. Welcome to a world of wonder and wishes, of hope and dreams, the world of children. This program is special because children are special. And together we're going to reach around the world and love them. And here to join me is a very special friend of children, Art Linkletter.
Thank you, Carol. I love to make wishes come true. And right now we're going to do that for thousands of suffering children in the world. And here's some exciting people who are going to help us. Our special guests will be Melissa Sue Anderson, Andre Crouch, Quinn Cummings, Hugh Downs, Johnny Erickson, Dale Evans, Henry Fonda, President Ford, Bob Hope, Olivia Hussey, the Imperials, the Lennon Sisters, Ricardo Montalban, Melba Moore, Tom Netherton, Roy Rogers, Ben Vereen, and Ephraim Zimbalist Jr.
And when we talk about visiting the world of children, that's exactly what we mean. We're going to go to children in Haiti, Bangladesh, Kenya, the Philippines, Taiwan, Colombia, and India.
On this World Vision television special, you'll have a chance to personally come love the children. You're going to be able to help provide emergency food for the hungry, medical care for children who are suffering, education for kids who want to learn but don't have the chance. You'll be able to help villagers learn better farming, build dams, dig wells so that their children can have health and hope for the future.
Art and I are so glad you've joined us for this adventure of caring, of reaching out in love to the malnourished generation.
Others will have to become the artists, the farmers, the doctors. These will stay here. This will be their life. Whatever dreams they have about getting out, they'll soon learn to keep to themselves. There are already enough disappointments. No need to make it worse. What a waste. What an insane waste. Active minds, able bodies growing old long before their time because of hunger, TB, malaria, dysentery. The best of the human spirit, that which God meant to take flight and soar, is found limping, faltering, crumbling, dying.
You want me to make certain that no child shall ever be hungry again. Yes, I can do that. But only in fantasy. To make that happen in reality takes a great many people caring a great deal about their fellow human beings. Do you think there are enough people like that? to really make it happen. So do I.
You're everything I hoped for. You're everything I need.
And right now, you can send beauty and hope into the life of a child. Go to your phone and call now. Thank you.
When you call and ask for the World Vision operator, we want to send you this packet. It describes the exact village or community project where your particular giving will be put to work to help children and their families. You'll receive a map of the country showing the precise location of your project, something that you and your family can share together. And we'll also send you pictures and tell you how you'll be helping provide food, medical care, housing, and Christian education. We'll also send you reports on exactly what your gifts are accomplishing. And you'll have the deep fulfillment in knowing exactly how and where your gifts are helping.
What you are looking at is all that's left of what was once a busy, bustling market town in Central Africa. The story you're about to see and hear is the horrible, obscene story of a nation that has been wounded to its core, Uganda. Uganda is a country that has traditionally been proud of its intelligent, gracious people. But for the past 8 years, it has burned as a living hell under the insane dictatorship of self-proclaimed President for Life, Idi Amin.
I was very proud and very happy on Friday for the Muslim, on Sunday for the Christians. All churches and the mosque was full to capacity. We, the people of Uganda, we should not hate one another.
During the rule of Idi Amin, inflation galloped along at the rate of 200 to 300% a year. It took $100 to buy a blanket. A razor blade cost $4. You needed $50 for a locally made shirt. In fact, the entire economic and social structures virtually collapsed.
Death became a familiar word throughout Uganda. And some of the greatest atrocities took place right here, in this innocent-looking, three-storied government office building just a few minutes from downtown Kampala. It was a building that housed a complete arsenal. Rooms were reserved for torture and murder. A sophisticated wiretap system kept tabs on Amin's real and imagined enemies. Everything done under the guise of national security. Once you were brought here by Amin's secret police, you were usually never seen again. Only a few have lived to describe the terror of this place of death. It's finally quiet here now. The dead have been buried, and the killers have fled.
I felt a literal chill go through my body as I walked through Idi Amin's murder factory. The hallway of this very corridor is streaked with blood where bodies were dragged out the back. Oh, they didn't call it a murder factory. It had a much nicer sounding name. It's called the State Research Bureau. But it was here, with the help of 3,000 henchmen, that Idi Amin murdered tens of thousands of his fellow countrymen. Those henchmen were issued a license to kill. If a man came to your door and flashed one of these cards, you were as good as dead.
Later, he was taken 2 floors below, to the basement, where he lived out the worst of nightmares.
Now that we are going down, we are going to the place which I call the basement, where the actual killing was being done. You walk here when you are blindfolded. Then when you come here, you wait a little bit for the others. This is the room where people would wait a little bit when others are being killed. And when the killing has been done, then they would call you.
Dead bodies were stacked and left for days. There was no food, no water, no toilet. Even now, these walls are stained with the blood of hundreds of men and women who were tortured and murdered in this room.
Every passageway, every room, every stairwell holds a new story of horror. I've just come across something here that's just shaken me terribly. It doesn't take much imagination to reconstruct what happened here. A woman's sweater, a dress with blood on it, her underclothes, and dried blood all over the floor. This is a part of Idi Amin's murder factory.
Tonight, right now, through World Vision, you can help these shattered people begin to recapture hope and dignity. With a phone call saying you want to give $12 a month, you can become a friend to these who've suffered so much. Your gift will be helping provide food, medicine, blankets, seed, and simple farming tools. For almost 30 years, World Vision has been helping people like you reach out to just such children and families overseas. Now the attention of the world is focused on one of the most tortured nations of all, Uganda. It's estimated that between 300,000 and 500,000 innocent Ugandans were slaughtered during Amin's rule of fear and death. These are the survivors of those 8 years. Survivors who now must carry on. It's they who need to know that you care. And they can't wait. Right now, be a friend to someone in Uganda who needs you. The number is on your screen. Ask for the World Vision operator. Please, call now.
Vision presents Love Plus One, an hour of hope for a hungry world, with special guests Melissa Sue Anderson, Dave Boyer, Diane Carroll, Larnell Harris, and your hosts Stan Mooneyham and Art Linkletter, plus visits to Ethiopia, Haiti, and Papua New Guinea.
Don't forget them, they want to grow older. You can help them go on living.
Our Forgotten Family, presented by World Vision, with special guests Mike Douglas, Carol Lawrence, William Shatner, and your hosts Stan Mooneyham and Dale Evans, with reports from Somalia, Haiti, Papua New Guinea, Kenya, and Colombia.
Hand in Hand, a charming old-fashioned musical celebration with special guests Debbie Boone,
When you're out there on your own, trying to make it all alone.
Roy Rogers and Dale Evans, James Whitmore,
I just recently went in to talk to our new president, Mr. Harding, and I said, President Harding, I would like to tell you the latest political jokes, and he said, you don't have to, Will, I appointed them.
Melba Moore,
Every day is sunny 'cause I got love.
Stan Mooneyham,
Well, maybe I'm prejudiced, but I think neighborhoods would be pretty dull places without grandfathers and grandsons.
the World Vision Korean Children's Choir, and Doc Severinsen.
Jesus skipped the world, the sunshine and the flowers. He could escape the world in his darkest hours, but he smiles and waits till someone understands. He's got the whole world in his head. If only everyone would love the sister and the brother, we could rise above, live with one another, share the sun is God, devotion in the lane. He's got the whole world in his head. Why don't we pass it today? All it takes is caring, we can find a way. Love is for the sharing, he's a mighty God, he's written in the sand. He's got the whole world in his head. He knows that the world, it is him, he's got the whole wide world. It is him, he's got the whole wide world. It is him, he's got the whole world in his head.
Now love's the only melody that's running through my mind. Oh, you came along just when I needed a love song, when all I had was sad songs in my life. You came along just when I needed a love song. Everything I want the world to be is now coming true, especially for me. And the reason is clear, it's because you are here. You're the nearest thing to heaven that I've seen. I'm on the top of the world looking down on creation, and the only explanation I can find is the love that I found since you've been around. Your love's put me at the top of the world.
Let's sing out loud and strong.
There are some places in our world where there is very little melody. Instead, life is out of tune, a discord of poverty, hunger, and pain. In Bangladesh, life is a struggle from the moment of birth. Rokia is no exception. She is only 10 years old, but she's probably lived through more suffering than most of us will see in a lifetime. After a severe accident, infection set in, causing an abscess in Rokia's leg. It developed into osteomyelitis, and the doctors had to amputate. Rokia owes her life to the people who made her operation possible. But Rokia's suffering is not over. What do you do when you're crippled and you live in a country where even the strong must fight for survival? The answer has to do with love and people like you. Through World Vision, you can sponsor a needy boy or girl, a child who might not be crippled physically, but whose future without you holds little hope. You can make a difference in the life of one child today. Our operators are waiting for your call. If the lines are busy, keep trying. Thank you.
Could I ask you to stay tuned as we continue our journey through the hearts and lives of children all over the world? Joining us will be Ben Vereen, Johnny Erickson, and Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. Stay right there.